Good morning, jiggly camera. So I'm a little late, so I'm not on the smooth road yet. I'm still on the little bumpy road that leads to the highway. This is Travel Chat. I'm Fran. This is a show where I use my super long commute to talk through my personal development, work through my own issues. Hi, Diane. Surprise. And take you along for the ride. So today is Monday, so we talk about money on Monday. So it is Magic Money Monday. And I think I said last week that I was going to commit to, I want to say working on my budget, but it's not really working on my budget because I look at that every day. It's like, I'm not going to do that. I was saying that I was going to alternate weeks and work on my business budget on every other Monday and work on my personal budget every other Monday. However, I have changed that idea since last week because I was reading, hi Jessica, hi Jairus, good morning. Last week I was listening to this book called Profit First by Michael Michalowicz, and it is amazing, and it really flipped my perspective on budgeting. It's a business book, and it's about managing your small business finances, which I got a lot out of that. But then it also helped me shift my perspective on personal finances, even eating, even exercise, even like all these things that he wasn't writing about, but happened to like be relevant. And it made me feel like everything in our life is connected. All of our issues and our hang-ups, are the different ways that we kind of self-sabotage or procrastinate on our life. They're all related in some way. And so I got so much out of this business finance book that it was like epiphany after epiphany. So initially when I first started, I think I started reading it last Sunday, I was saying, okay, every Monday I'm going to do a deep dive into my budget, alternating business and personal finances. But as I got more through the book, he's recommended that you do your deep dive on the 10th and the 25th of the month. And the way my budget diary is set up is just that. It's a diary. So there's things that you could do in there every day, and really the whole point of it is to get in the budget diary and do a little something every day, not anything heavy, but some small activity that just kind of keeps you connected to it, keeps you showing up for yourself and for your money every day. And so I think I'm gonna switch that. So it's Magic Money Monday, but I'm probably not gonna go in and do any sort of deep dive right now, except that to go in and just do what I normally do, which is kind of look at things, look at the numbers, remind myself of my goals. I actually haven't set my October goals yet. So I'll go in, and since today is the 30th of September, hey Mona, I'll go in and probably just at least think about what my October goals will be. And they're not financial goals at all. Like usually my goals are, try to have like a no spend. I try to have a no spend September, and I think I made it up until the last week. There was one week in September when I just blew the whole thing out of the water. I just went crazy. But I mean, it was all for a purpose, but it was kind of like afterwards, I was like, oh yeah, I had a no spend month. Okay, that didn't quite work out. So it's funny, but it's not, this is all me taking one day at a time, trying to be the best that I can be each day. And if you do that, you end up overall being better, even though, you're not perfect. And so, part of what I'm working through and what I'm getting better and better at is that I spent most of my life trying to be perfect, not knowing that was impossible. Like seriously, not knowing that reaching this point of being perfect in everything that I do was really not an attainable goal. Like that's not even a real thing, but I thought it was. And That's what I try to do for my whole life. And so, when you try to be perfect at everything you do, you actually end up not doing things that you don't think you'll be good at, or not doing something that you might be good at, but you don't think you're going to be perfect at it, or you try at first and you're not perfect at it, so you stop. And so I've held back a lot on things that probably would have been fun. It would have been a learning experience. It would have just been interesting to do this thing or that thing, but I didn't do it, or I didn't do it after the starting point of it, because I wasn't like immediately perfect at it. And even now, I'm 42, and I have to remind myself when I'm doing things, I have to remind myself that the beginning is going to be a little rough. Like, it's going to, hey Eva, that the beginning is going to be a little tough. I actually have to remind myself of this sometimes out loud when I'm starting to do something, and I'm like, you know what, you're not going to be perfect when you very first start. The beginning is going to be a little tough, and it's going to be a learning experience, but you give yourself grace to show up imperfectly this time, and to, guess what, come back tomorrow and show up imperfectly again. And you may not ever be perfect. You may not ever get it right, because that is an impossible goal. But when you show up and you try, you have a lot of fun. Give yourself the freedom to mess up and be a complete dodo bird. Like, I am so clumsy in some things, and I don't even mean like physically clumsy. I mean like mentally clumsy. If you guys watch this show every day, sometimes I'm sharper in the morning, but sometimes I'm just rambling all over the place, and I'm clumsy, and this is all part of me learning how to just show up and have fun and take life as it comes, and not try to wrestle life to the ground and make it like this perfect thing that I do every single time. And so that opens up a whole new world for you. If everything that you do doesn't have to be the best, it opens up a whole world of experimentation, of let's just try this, let's see how it goes, and not have to have everything perfect. Also, Eva says I can't get it right. I'm a dodo bird. Also, in motherhood, before I had the twins, I was researching everything, and a lot of my research has really paid off. Like, it really helped me to be a good mom. But I knew that with motherhood, I knew I wasn't going to stress myself out, and that was probably one of the first times in my life that I gave myself permission not to be perfect. And I knew I wasn't going to get it perfect. I wasn't going to get it all right. I wasn't going to get everything done. And I just gave myself grace to say, you know what? Let's see how this goes. This is my first time doing this. These are the kids' first time being on earth. We're all going to learn together. And I remember just always saying, like, I don't know, this is my first time. Everything, it's going fine as far as I'm concerned. And my husband had to tell me one day, he was like, you need to stop telling people this is easy. And I was like, why? And he was like, because you have twins. This is not easy. And I'm like, it's all about your perspective. And it seemed easy to me because I had nothing to compare it to. But I was for sure keeping a positive attitude. And I think things started to go a little bit rough for me when I stopped telling people it was easy, and stopped telling people I was learning as I went, and started focusing on, oh yeah, we don't sleep, and oh yeah, trying to figure out what to feed them and that kind of thing. So definitely give yourself grace to know that it's not going to be perfect, but focus on the good things. So it is Magic Money Monday here on Travel Chat, and this all feeds into it because I was saying I was listening to this business finance book all of last week, and it led into all of these other epiphanies about life and about personal finance. But one big thing is so the book is called Profit First, and he talks about the first thing you do should be the most important thing, which obviously the origin of the word priorities tells us that the first thing you do is your priority. And And the funny thing is that word, when it was first introduced to the English language, it wasn't priorities. You know how we say that now? What are your top priorities? You know, plural, like there's more than one. There wasn't that. Like, that's us being humans and making things complicated. The word was priority. That means there's one. You only get one priority, and that thing is the most important thing to you. So as he was talking about business finance, he was talking about your profit. If you're creating a small business, your profit is the most important, the only priority, one priority. So you take that off the top. You get your revenue, you take your profit, and you save that, and then you pay your bills from everything that's left, and you pay your taxes and that kind of thing. But your top priority is being profitable so that you're able to serve another day and not like go under. So I'm listening to this and I'm thinking about personal finance and how our top priority, if you're familiar with Dave Ramsey, his baby steps philosophy, it's life changing. It's the best thing ever. If you have if you have debt, or even if you don't have debt, baby steps are the way to go. So Dave Ramsey has the baby steps. There's 7 baby steps. The first 0, 1, and 2 all have to do with getting out of debt. And 3 has to do with building up enough savings to where if something catastrophic happens, like you lose your job, that you're not living back with your mom in the basement or something like that. So if you have debt, your first priority is getting out of debt, right? Like, that's your first priority, because believe it or not, debt is a very spiritual issue. Money itself is spiritual, but debt is a very spiritual issue, and a lot of times we don't realize it until the debt is gone, how heavy a spiritual load it is and how much it infiltrates our life. Eva says I need to take his course, his Financial Peace University course. So debt is it's extremely spiritual. It's extremely heavy. It governs the decisions that we make. However, we don't really think, it's kind of in the background usually. It's kind of a background noise that we don't really think about. But your first priority, if you have debt, is to get out of debt, and then you feel the weight lifted, and then you can make decisions from a place of, do I want to do this? Do I want to go here? Do I want to buy this? You know, without feeling like, okay, you know, how much money do I have left after I pay all these bills? It's like an instant raise. And it's also, you know, we talk about stewardship in church. Like, we talk about, you know, everything is from above. It's all part of source energy, and it's coming through us, and it's our job to manage it in a way that's like good for everyone here. That's probably a whole other topic. But when you look at getting out of debt as being a priority, when you get paid, if it's your number one priority, just how like Michael Michalowicz says, profit first, it would be like debt payments first, or debt snowball first, and that you would take care of that as your first and foremost priority as a habit, because he talks about profit is a habit. And it's not like something that you wait until you make a whole lot of money and you're like, oh, now I'm going to take my profit. No, profit is a habit. So paying off your debt is a habit. And then I think, so what clicked for me is that when I teach this stuff, because I was making the course. Oh. It says low network connection. So I am taking a moment. It's recording, so the playback will be fine, but somehow right now I'm in an area, which is weird because this area usually isn't bad on the internet. So I don't know. Should I sing a song while we wait? No, I wouldn't do that to you. Lose the entire audience at once. I know when you watch the playback, it's gonna be just fine. So it's kind of strange to like wait, but I don't want people to be like, what happened? This is so weird. I usually have a connection through here. I don't know why it's spotty today. It's spotty today. I'm not sure. Oh, I need to make a video for Lee. Oh, hey, sorry. Okay, so it said low network connection. So I was sorry, somebody's license plate caught my attention. I'm squirrely today. I was waiting until the connection came back, because I know when you guys are watching live, it skips or it pauses or whatever, but in the playback it's fine. So I was just waiting until the connection came back. I was in a weird, I don't know, I don't usually have a low network connection right in that little spot of strip. Anyway, so yeah, so if you're when you get paid, if your profit is the number one priority, you put your profit aside immediately off the top, like you pay yourself first. If your debt payment, your debt snowball, getting out of debt is your number one priority, as soon as you get paid, you apply that money to the debt snowball and you make that your top priority as a habit. And then when you become debt free, you continue that same habit, but you're taking that money and you're putting it in savings. So what I was saying before I interrupted myself is that I'm creating this course, and I started creating this course a couple weeks ago for budgeting, and it's the course. It's the same course that comes with if you buy a budget diary or a Magic Money Planner or an Ultimate Budget Binder from my Etsy shop. You get access to this course for free. And I'm revamping the whole course because I found, like, I had a light bulb moment on how to make it way easier, way more actionable, so that when you very first start it, you can already like change some things and make a huge difference in your finances, like immediately. So I started recreating this course, and I realized that going through the Dave Ramsey Master Financial Coach training, which I started like maybe a week after I started outlining the course, I started doing a Dave Ramsey coach training, which I'm going to use in my business to coach people through their finances using Dave Ramsey's proven techniques. So I'm getting certified with him, and I realized that I needed to stop making my course until I do the Dave Ramsey course, because there may be some nuggets or some tips and tricks that he will share and teach us that'll make it even better. So, Profit First, the Ramsey Solutions course, all these things are coming together to make the budget diary budgeting course like amazing. And the guy with Profit First, Michael Michalowicz, he actually has worked with Dave Ramsey also. So his method, they mesh. He gets it. It's all connected. It's amazing. Like, I love it when things happen this way. It's a synchronicity, like when all these things come together and they fit perfectly together. So the course is going to be super easy, very, helpful. And all you have to do to get the course is to have a budget diary. And when you have a budget diary, you can work your way through the course. Easy, simple, easy, simple. I know that we have a guy watching. So we have a guy watching who's like, how can I use this budget diary? And it's like very much straight up geared for females. So I'm creating this ultimate budget binder that will not be gender specific. Like you won't be able to tell that it's a girly thing, just in case. But the website is definitely girly. It's definitely girly. So anyway, because my target audience is, females. So it, take that for what it's worth. So why don't you have more money? Why don't you have more money? That's what I titled today's episode. Why do you not have more money? If we are born abundant, if our natural state of being is to be abundant in everything, when you look around, you look at everything God has created, it's abundant. If you're in Texas, there is sky for miles, right? There's grass, there's land. Like, look at the universe, look at the billions and billions and quadrillions of stars. Look at the planets. I mean, our natural state of being, the natural state of creation is abundance. There's enough of everything everywhere. Hi, Anne Marcy. there's there's enough of everything everywhere, and things are renewable, right? Even money is a renewable resource. Money is not a finite resource. Money is like oxygen, right? Like you breathe it in, you breathe it out. Like there's money, it comes into your life, you spend it, it comes back into your life. There's no way to just like use up all the money that you're ever going to have in your whole life. Even if, say, you were born with some kind of silver spoon or trust fund or something, and you squandered it all, you never worked, you used up all the money in the trust fund, which you probably couldn't because it's invested and it would just keep producing more dividends. But anyway, let's just say it was a finite amount of money. Say it was a briefcase full of cash, and you spent your entire briefcase full of cash. Then what? Then you can go out and make more. You can create more money. You create money. We attract it into our lives. We create it by the things that we do in exchange for it. So why don't you have more money? Well, some might say because it leaves my experience faster than it comes in. Maybe that may be true. It may leave your experience faster than it comes in, but guess what? More is coming. So that excuse is only good for a day, because the next time you make more, why don't you have more? Right? So there's a lot of different reasons why. Some of them are practical reasons, like I didn't know that I should buy things that make more money. Like you can purchase things with your money that actually make you more money. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. Some are risky, some are not risky at all, but you can purchase things that make you more money. One thing, when I had the 3-month budgeting mastermind over the summer, one thing that I told everybody they should do straight away is to open up a money market account. And I was telling them about how great these accounts are, because it's a low risk account. Like nobody's going to steal your money, right? But you open up a money market account, you put your money there for savings, and it collects so much interest that you make a lot more interest than you do in a regular savings account. So that's one thing that you can put your money, and you're not even buying it. You're just putting your money there, and it makes more money. So again, why don't you have more money? Other reasons why people don't have more money, apart from just not knowing how to invest it, how to save it, how not to spend it, is that we have a lot of money blocks. We have a lot of blocks to holding on to our money. And these things, we can overcome these, but sometimes they're so hidden that we don't even realize that we have them, and they're governing the way that we live. So if you don't feel like you deserve to have money, you're not going to have any money. So that's one reason that you would not have more money. If you don't feel like it's in your family's legacy to have money, like you say, we've always struggled. My parents struggled, my grandparents struggled, their parents struggled. We just have a history of struggling. And you feel like that's a normal thing, that like you're not one of the elite rich people and this is the way, life is going to be for you and your family, then you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle because you believe that that's all that's there for you. You believe that that's the way things is supposed to be for you, and it's going to stay that way. You may feel like you don't deserve it, or you may feel like, guess what? I can't have money and be happy. I can't have money and be happy because it's one or the other. I can't have money and also have a good relationship, or I can't have money and love at the same time. It's one or the other. You may think that this is true, and if you think this is true, it's going to be true for you. So today, for Magic Money Monday, your tip for this week is to just think about what kind of money block you may have. Is there some kind of fixed belief that you have about how much money you're supposed to have? Do you feel like some kind of way around rich people, like I'm not a rich person, I could never be a rich person, I could never be the type of person who has riches? Because our natural state of being is abundance, and not just financial abundance, but also health. Our health is supposed to be optimal. That's our natural state of being, right? Our friendships, our relationships are supposed to be optimal. That's our natural state of being. We're not supposed to put up with toxic people in our lives. I'm going to say that again. We are not supposed to put up with toxic people in our lives. That's not our natural state of being. And we're not supposed to be the toxic person in anyone's life. Like, our natural state of being is not to have struggle. That's not normal. That's a human condition. It's not normal. That we were not created to have struggle. So when you know that, and you start looking at all these different options in your life, and start thinking about what you rightfully should have in your relationships as a mother or father, with your finances, if you're starting a business, anything that you have, once you realize, you know what, it's not normal for me to have struggle, start looking at it from the perspective of, I am supposed to have an easy life. I am supposed to have a lot of money. I am supposed to have good friendships. I'm supposed to have people who treat me with respect. I'm supposed to have, love, that somebody who actually has my back and actually loves me, not somebody who abuses me. Like, you're supposed to have these things, and if you don't, there's some really radical changes that need to be made. And as far as money goes, you have to realize that you deserve good things. You deserve good things. You deserve beautiful things. You deserve a clean place to live. You deserve a safe place to sleep. You deserve these things. You deserve more money. You deserve to have everything that you need and extra. You deserve to have enough for yourself, enough to help others, and enough to save. So why don't you have more money? If you don't have more money, how are you going to get more? How are you going to figure this out? How on earth are you going to figure this out? So, obviously, I feel like I can help. I know I can help. And in 2020, that is going to be a huge focus for me, because in 2018, if somebody had asked me these same questions I'm asking you, I would have been completely like that emoji with the eyes that are like this. That would have been me, because I didn't have answers to any of these questions. And I started working on myself, and I started figuring out a lot of these answers. And now I help people to figure out these answers too. And oh my gosh, it's so simple. It's so simple. And I'm like, this is this easy. Why is society telling us this is complicated? Why is society telling us we need financial experts to predict the market and all this stuff so we can invest? You don't need any of that. It is so easy. And so anyway, I'm building this course, and like I said, it's free with the budget diary, and I'll probably offer it even if you don't have a budget diary, because you can budget on plain paper if you want to. That's fine. It's not as happy, but you can. Because now that I've found like the light at the end of the tunnel, like I see through the darkness, the trees. Now that I see how easy this is, I can't help but share it. Like, I cannot help but tell other people, what these answers are, because it's never too late. And that was one thing that was a theme in 2018 for me. It was like, oh, it's too late for me. I'm too old. I better just learn all this stuff so I can make sure my kids have a good life. But no, actually, it's never too late for you. It's never too late to start and to not only, like I said, you survive, right? I spent my whole life surviving. You survive. You have what you need, and then you have enough to help someone else survive, and then you have enough to thrive. So you have enough, you have more than enough, and then you have savings. You can have more money. It doesn't make you a bad person. I have this quote that I love. It's greed is bad, but rich is good. Because greed comes from a state of lack. You feel like there's not enough. You need more because you don't feel like there's enough. But then rich is good, because having enough and more than enough, and enough that's saved, you can help people, you can give, that's incredibly good. I heard Chris Harder on his podcast. He always says, when good people make good money, they do great things. And that's where I'm trying to get people to. I'm starting with the people that I know, because I don't know why. I'm just starting with the people that I know. I guess I just can't help but talk about it. And so I come on every morning and I talk about all this stuff. Eventually I'm going to reach out to a wider audience of people who, I don't previously know in my life. But right now I'm starting with the people that I know. And this is my mission now, because I've got this feeling, and I want everybody to experience it. It's incredible. Just being, free. Just being free, not having thoughts and worries about where money is going to come from. It's crazy. Anyway, so that's Magic Money Monday. Oh. Okay, so the recording is going to be weird because I am just holding my breath. There's a low network connection again. This is so weird. Maybe it's something going on with Verizon. I don't know. It's a low connection, so I am holding. I don't know why. I'll watch for it to go away. It's kind of annoying. Okay, so that's kind of annoying. That's weird. So I was holding because the connection was bad. It's a bad day to be an internet marketer today, or whatever it is you do online. Bad day to be online, apparently, in this part of my world. So yes, so I'm gonna go. I actually have to film another quick video that I was supposed to do yesterday, but I didn't. For our Bahamas retreat, they want an introductory video. Lisa Nichols came on last night in WhatsApp and sent us a video like with her introductory video and like, hey, who's next? And nobody else went next because it's like, it's Sunday night. Ain't nobody got on makeup and all that ready to be on camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and do mine now. It's supposed to be like 2 or 3 minutes. I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Whatever. Who cannot? I can talk about myself. Who cannot talk about themselves? All right, but I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Sorry about all the tech issues, the connection problems, but I know you love me if you're still watching this. All right, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful Monday.